It's after 7, so I'm calling the meeting to order. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 members present. We are all voting members who are here. We have a quorum and everything. Okay. Consideration of minutes of previous meetings.
I emailed it to everybody. If you didn't get a copy, I have a hard copy of it. Anybody want it?
No, I saw them, I read them, I moved that I thought he did a great job, so did, David. I moved that they be accepted.
Okay, great.
Seconded. Any discussion, all those in favor? Great, you're approved.
Good.
You guys are on.
Wow, we're back again.
So, we don't have any paperwork, and you were gonna deliver paperwork tonight?
Well, last time we were here, Don informed me you guys were supposed to grab an application, which does not exist.
Right.
So this is a pre-application meeting.
Okay,
So with the pre-application meeting, it shows, we tell you what our plan is. If there's anything of the requirements that we feel that should be exempt, bring it up now.
yep, okay,
And, a sketch plan of what we're doing.
yes.
So, I mean, I
And this
think.
is for us to keep at this point.
Yep.
So,
And I have my plan also that you guys saw last time, but this is the full layout of all of the land.
okay, so this is McNeil Road.
Yep,
This is coming in Hummingbird Lane. This is family plot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 and 3 have been built on back in 2001. 4 had not been built on, sitting there dormant, but it was part, so I made some good notes for you. You can tell whatever you need to add to it. But, so I guess in terms of trying to get this thing set up so Tyler could do something here, this one and this one need to be included, right? So that's what we've done. And so essentially you're looking at,
Just so I have the notes right, so this is lot 2 and lot,
3. Those 2 have already been built on.
okay, so it's 1 and 4.
1, 4, and 5.
1, 4, and 5. Well, 1 and 4 were already existing lots.
Well,
5 is the new
like
one,
I
right?
said there, on this one, 4 is actually part of the original 2, 3,
Right,
and 4.
right.
but
That's
it
the
never-
original we talked about last week.
So
And
it was removed, it has been removed, and the penalty has been paid on that land for that one. So it would only be that one and this one, the
So
penalty.
1, 2, 3, and 4 were part of an old subdivision.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
coming in now, this is going to be
Right,
part of the
and,
new one.
and then this one, number 1, which kind of sitting there going, no deed or any good, it's still part of the mother lot, but obviously, we'll do something, segment it now while we're doing this, so that because it was an open space, and so Debbie sits down and does the calculation of what it would have been taxed at.
It was,
So,
the tax code was for open space, and now you're changing it to.
but this one here, my daughter's, nothing has been done with it. On, when she gets the tax bill, it says, what did I say, 7?
Yeah.
It says 7 on the
Parent
parent.
lot get included too?
but,
Will the parent lot get included with the subdivision?
well,
Because you're taking a piece of it, has to.
this whole thing is
That
part
whole
of the
thing
mother
has to
lot.
be part of.
That's the mother lot.
Yeah.
So it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1, 4, and 5, it's
6.
plus it's also 6.
I'm not including that, no.
I think we have to.
Because this is
You do.
part of the same.
If you're taking a piece, take a piece out of it.
Yeah, but I thought the way,
That part doesn't make sense to me. If we're just adding, this was already a subdivision, we're adding an
It
additional
wasn't
lot.
a subdivision, we're misusing the word subdivision.
But that was the word as, 20 years ago when they put their houses in. That's
But
on
that
there,
was 1, 2,
subdivision.
3, and 4.
Okay,
It's
but his
on
mother-in-law was never
there.
a part of.
It's on, is this a subdivision, do we have it in our files? as a subdivision, you
No.
guys came
No,
to
because I
the
think
planning
what you were
board?
doing when David was here, what you were trying to do was somehow figure out how you could accommodate us to do something.
Yeah,
And so the answer was to call it a subdivision.
Right,
Is that
but
correct?
calling it that it was a subdivision, that it is a subdivision now, is wrong.
It's not a subdivision.
It's not a subdivision. You're making it a subdivision.
Okay.
This is not the subdivision you're looking for.
Yeah. I can
Well,
start to
well,
pull that.
we understand, this land was divided before into these lots. You called it a subdivision, which, okay, fine, we can accept. But we're talking about a new subdivision, which is 1, 4, 5, but we're taking a piece out of 6, so 6 has gotta be included. Boy, I see.
It is the mother lot.
You're taking a piece out of 6.
Everything, this is the mother lot,
So here's the issue as I understand it,
okay?
talking with Ben, is the remaining 66 acres that I have,
Yeah,
which is an open space, which this part back here is all trash land.
yeah,
So when you say you're going to put this into a subdivision, then immediately that's italicized as beautiful, nice home building lots. And now
Not
that
necessarily.
removes it from open space and my
Does it?
tax goes through the roof.
Does Ben say that it removes it from open space?
He did, and he said one of the things, which one of these properties here, I'm not sure what it was, lot 1 or whatever, but you could refer to it as excess. Now, maybe that's what this would be if we call it a subdivision and we have to include everything that I have, and we call that all excess, then now you sit down and you look at excess definition versus open space definition. And it's not perfect, so that's where we go, and I get shot in the foot for trying to give 3 acres to my grandson, 66 acres have to go in as a prime subdivision.
And it is to the town's advantage, my opinion, to have this land undeveloped.
Correct. Which we're
Um,
not seeing anything.
There you go, I mean, I wouldn't have done it the way that I did if I hadn't had that plan, so,
So-
It's funny that Ben is making that definition, because I think previously, the subdivision was just a dividing of the land,
Yeah,
not necessarily placing a usage on the land. I thought that if you had 10 acres left over in a subdivision, in the mother lot, you could still put it in tree growth, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you can.
We need to get a clarification on this reading.
yeah, well, maybe we just, once he said, because we don't have the application, we're all just nice people having a talk here, but
Exactly.
You need
this
nice
is what.
people.
We're trying.
But yeah, that's the reason why,
So, I will call Ben.
okay, yeah, and then just come back and, I don't care,
This isn't right.
I don't care what we call this.
Obviously, his biggest concern, so.
It's not being developed, it's
Yeah.
not, it's gonna stay the way it is.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some other questions from a planning board point of view. If we encourage people who are making subdivisions to do cluster subdivisions, and they have excess land,
Then it becomes.
why can't they put it in tree growth?
Right.
Or open space.
Or open space?
Open space.
Why not? That's what the law is there for.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
I'll talk with Ben
Good.
about that. But anyway, let's continue.
Well, let me ask you a question. If we include lot 6,
Yeah.
can Gary come back later and subdivide that land, lot 6?
If you do that, you open up the whole subdivision, yes.
But he could, does he have to wait 5 years or is it 3?
The 5-year rule does not
Does
apply.
not apply.
No, because it's a family thing, and to be perfectly honest with you, I do have 2 more grandsons, but none of them are in the position where he is to, so I can't tell you, if I come back 5 years or 6 years from now, you say, oh, no, Gary, you said there wasn't gonna, I can't tell you, I'm not gonna come back with my hat in hand and say, we need 2 acres out of this, and that may happen.
Well, my question is, he could come back if he wants
Yeah.
to do that.
Okay.
So that's, you're not limited
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those subdivisions all over the state where you have housing lots, and then a significant proportion of the land in the subdivision is, they say it right in the newspaper articles, it's dedicated to open space. So, the fact that we would include the mother lot, these 66 acres, in the subdivision, which it should be, I mean, that's the way it was with the one down by the river that we just did. It was in there, but it's not appropriate for you to lose your, open space tax advantage on it.
And then the other thing is, this is McNeil Road.
Yes.
Okay, so, and this comes down into my lower field.
Yep.
This portion here is approximately 3 acres.
Yep.
It's off of McNeil Road. So a town road, not what we're trying to do here because it's a private road.
Yep.
So it wasn't even bringing this up into conversation.
Right.
But the next one in line, a grandson who has expressed an interest in this.
Yep.
So I deed him over 3 acres, but not coming before the planning board because it's off of McNeil Road. But if you're saying this whole thing has to be part of this, then I need to get, and he's not even ready, he's not married, he's in school. But if I have to get this deeded out, or whatever, even to my wife or somebody, so that it's not part of the mother lot, I mean, yeah, we
But
can find out.
you can come in just for lot 6.
You don't,
Subdivide lot 6, to take that one out.
you don't need to have it deeded out, you just need to have it on the plan. That's all.
Right. You can show it now, or you can come
Not
in later
later,
with
but
lot
yeah.
6.
So that's why I'm explaining to you that,
Yeah.
yes, it's part of this whole thing, the
Yeah.
next thing would be a 3 acre part off of McNeil
So-
Road, was not brought up in conversation because
Right, that's fine.
he can build on it without having to come before the planning board.
But he would have to because
If he
it's part of the mother lot.
If he wanted to subdivide it, then he would have to come in back.
Before with our perfect world, like you were saying, boom, 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 this is not included, then he would have been fine. But if this is included, then yes, you have to come back.
You still would have to come back.
Yeah.
If you subdivide off that is lot.
Okay,
Makes
There we
sense.
are.
That makes
That
sense.
part,
That's about all I can tell you about that.
okay, this is ours.
Yes, that's yours, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't know how you wanted me to describe it,
No, we got it, yeah.
but what's there is there.
Yeah, that makes sense, this makes
Yep,
sense.
yep.
Oh,
Okay,
this changes everything, it's a family subdivision, not a commercial subdivision.
I don't see that in the subdivision ordinance.
I learned that you make things up as you go along.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I thought we got, never mind, no.
You're gonna have to convince me for that.
Never mind. Okay,
Okay, so we good?
so
Yeah,
what
I
we're
mean-
looking at,
the only other thing was, the requirements, obviously, it's multiple pages of, if it's an actual subdivision, fire hydrant, street lights, all that. So, I'm trying to.
I think it can still remain as a private road.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
just one, if you go back to that whole clause on, frontage,
Yeah.
it says you need a 60-foot right of
Yeah.
way, and then it goes on beyond that, and there's some more specific requirements.
Yeah. And also, I mean, when it's time to, I'm gonna have PYS be put in the road, and I'll make sure, there's already a hammerhead at the end of Hummingbird where there is, and then once I do my lot, I'll add another hammerhead spin around down
Great.
there.
We have no problem with, Bruce coming up to look to see if he has any issues with that.
yep,
Because, in terms of getting a fire truck or turning around or whatever, but.
yep. So what we're gonna do is just go through this.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, if you're saying you wanna go through this now, rather than, okay, because
Whatever is-
what people have done is they have sat at their typewriter
Yep.
and gone through it for us. So
Where,
that-
what are you on exactly, right now?
So,
Minor subdivision.
Yep.
Article 6, minor subdivision.
Yeah, so I mean, even the first part, where A is, obviously it says within 6 months after the on-site inspection by board, submit an application for approval by final plan. I mean, I'm not breaking ground anytime soon with this winter,
Right,
regardless, so that'd be next spring.
right, but, and
This is a major subdivision.
The number of lots.
No, page 11.
no,
5 lots.
Any subdivision containing more than 4 lots or dwelling units, or any subdivision containing a proposed street.
It's 4 lots.
okay,
It's 4
you're
lots.
right,
Joe,
you're
it's
right.
4 lots.
It has a proposed street, and that makes it a major subdivision. Where are you reading in that?
Definition.
Under definitions?
Yeah, subdivision, page 7.
Subdivision, right here,
Yeah, it's, right.
major subdivision, any subdivision containing more than 4 lots
We have
or
4
dwelling,
lots.
or dwelling units, or any subdivision containing a proposed street.
We don't have a first proposed street, it's existing.
The street to get to Tyler's lot.
That's Hummingbird Road, Hummingbird Lane, it's
I thought that putting in this street was the whole reason they came here.
It's the extension of Hummingbird Lane, it's pre-existing, we have to break a hole in the stone wall and continue Hummingbird
But you
Lane.
can have a private road in the subdivision.
Yeah, but you have 5 lots plus the mother lot.
Last time we had the meeting, you said 2 of the lots, since they've been built 20 years, weren't a part of the subdivision.
Correct.
So that would be
Okay,
lot
that's
1, lot 3, or 4, which is
Four,
Jen,
and
and lot
go.
5, which is 3.
Oh, they're
And if
not-
we add
not
6,
being
and if we add
counted?
lot 6, it's 4. Yeah, it's still less than.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, they are not part of the mother lot.
Well, if it's less than 4 lots,
Yep.
and there's no proposed street, then it's a minor.
So a minor subdivision is any subdivision containing 4 lots or dwelling units or less.
4,
And
or
in
less.
which
Yeah.
no street is proposed to be constructed.
It's 4 or less, there's an existing street.
Yep.
I thought you were putting in a street.
And we're gonna keep it the same standards that the other one is, if Estes is going to do it, so I mean, it'll be done right.
Once you put the hammerhead in, make it passable.
Okay, on to B.
I think you're good.
Yeah. This part I would, hope to be exempt from with the, applicant shall pay, you guys crossed out, it says $10,000.
No, that's
Okay.
only a special account,
Okay.
for independent consulting, or stuff.
Yeah, for engineering or something, if they,
If there's
they're
a
putting
major, if there's a
full-
major issue, we have to hire
Yeah,
somebody to look at it.
uses just 300 per lot per acre.
Okay.
Whichever's greater.
And I mean, the applicant of his duty authorized representative shall attend the meeting of the board to present the final plan. I mean, if we get the green light with this minor subdivision, that final plan would come once I have the specs of my house and layout and all of that, correct?
We don't need that.
That goes to the building.
We need a building envelope.
Yeah.
Just,
Plans of
we're
your-
gonna build in this area.
Okay.
Your plans of your house will go to the CEO.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we don't need that. We're a little rusty on this because we've not done very many of them.
No, and I read through this a couple of times, and like I said, it's not like it's in a regular subdivision that someone's blowing down and putting cookie cutters in, it's just we're adding one
Right.
lot, so.
I know, but we gotta go through it.
You don't expect any problems from the abutters, right?
I don't think so, we got more issues, it's my mother. Yeah, Thanksgiving will be real awkward.
Yeah. Okay, on to F. Oh, G.
I can almost read it.
So we probably will have a public hearing.
Yep,
It's just,
I get it. It's part of the
Part of the process.
steps.
yep, yeah, it says we don't have to, but we will do that. We would probably want to have a site walk first.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, whenever you guys wanna schedule that, I'm more than willing.
So,
Do that.
one of the problems with sidewalks is sidewalks with 2 inches or more of snow on the ground. You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Bring your cross-country skis.
Yeah.
No big deal, Joe.
I mean, it's wide open, really,
Yeah.
until where the rock wall ends, and then the road will continue through there, Hummingbird Lane will, and then a lot of the house will just be right on the corner, so I mean, it's all fields right there, you can.
Let me ask about, the public hearing, because I guess my perception of the need for public hearings are generally for abutters, and if it's all a family compound and there's no abutters other than family, I don't see a lot of emphasis.
The closest abutter right now is the town of Baldwin. His closest abutter would be, is the lower field where the rock wall is, and the town.
These are all abutters.
Okay, well, if there are non-family abutters, then we need to have a site walk and public hearing. If it's all family, it wouldn't.
To me, it's more of a procedure, covering myself. Just, well, you didn't go, you didn't put them through it, why are you putting me through it? We'll come up later,
It's not a big
and that's what.
No, I don't see
It's not a big
any
deal.
real pushback
Okay.
on it.
No, it's just a pro forma thing.
I just wanted to,
To
that's
argue,
fine.
cause you just like that.
I learned it from you.
No,
Unfortunately, you're right,
He's
there's
contrary.
He's bad.
the perception of the good old boy thing.
yeah,
The former selectman, his grandson, they just kind of, no, do what you gotta do.
all we're doing is figuring out what we gotta do.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's why we're here.
So, G, H. And it just says we'll do that.
So there's a preliminary plan and there's a final plan.
Well, this is kind of the preliminary.
This is a preliminary plan.
Yeah,
But then as we have the public hearing, there might be some modifications we have to do. That would be a final plan.
I got you. Yep. Gonna cross off A under 6.3.
he's back here,
Oh, forget that.
application form. He's still worried that we don't have an
I haven't
application.
found it yet, I don't know, Don, have you?
Right, just a very brief pre-application,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could find.
No worries. Okay, location map. So we need to, you need to copy off the lot map. Just take the town's lot map, assessment map, and show us where the land is. That's part of the application.
Okay.
That
That could be shown on here, it's almost here now.
So see Debbie,
It's almost there on the corner now.
Well, it is.
It's right there, you got it right there on the corner now.
That's right on the back.
Okay.
So you already have it.
Yeah,
That's already done.
thank you, Rod.
Stephen.
We had it, we didn't even know we had it.
More copies.
And you have to identify all the existing subdivisions neighboring.
Yeah, I don't think there is any around us, but.
So we need 3 copies because what ends up happening is the planning board files one and the CEO files one, and I don't know what happens to the third, but,
3 copies of the plan you guys
3
have. right
copies
there.
of that plan.
Okay.
yeah.
Yep, I can bring in 2 more.
You can print that, it's all online.
Does it have to be that size, or can it just be regular 8 by 10, whatever?
If we can read it, it's
Yeah.
8 by 11, 8 by 11 would be fine, otherwise I'm gonna have to scan this thing.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, I've been to Staples at least 15 times in the last month. They can scan that there, no problem, I
Yeah,
can.
but they're gonna charge you $30.
Oh, yeah, I've paid them probably almost $160 already in the last month or 2.
So
you know.
if we accepted a paper copy, how many paper copies do we need? Do you need a paper copy?
Well, if we just had one, we can make copies of it, if we need more.
Well,
I guess 3.
3 should be enough, I would think.
okay, 3. Do you want an electronic copy?
I don't need one, no, and if you just download this off the website, it'll print it out in a standard piece of paper, and that should work, I would think.
Do you have an electronic copy?
I do of, not that plan, but what the surveyor did for me for the 3 acres.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I'll just, I can scan that through Staples, like an email with you guys.
Have them make a PDF of it.
Yep,
That's all we need, so give me the PDF, and I have it for the record.
So when I was here at the last meeting,
Yeah.
because I took copies and gave you guys, and I was showing like before and after type thing. This is, these are small versions, but
Yeah.
this is mine. And this is Tyler's, which is showing.
Yeah.
Tyler's got.
Be good if we had this, we don't like that, PDF of that.
yep, I'll print out 3 copies anyway, and I'll get it as a
Okay.
PDF, and I can email it.
I didn't know whether a copy of that would work for you.
Yep, no.
I mean, you only have
this-
two more of those.
Make me a PDF,
This is
make
what
me
we want.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
2 more of those, guys.
Yep.
Put it on a thumb drive or something, you could do that. Put the PDF on a thumb drive.
It hasn't changed.
Show the change to the road, the extension of the road or the new lot. Oh, this was drawn in.
I have that on this one, though, actually, he just sketched it in.
So, okay, now we're getting down to what you should be putting on an application form.
This is the one that Gary just showed us on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
Which is small.
If I get both of these in the PDF form.
This is
Yeah.
all we have, I can make copies of it, but it just gives a very, very limited information.
we're getting down to 7.2D, and this is where the application comes in.
We don't really have,
No, but this is what we should, if we were to make up an application form, I think this is where it comes from.
So we're gonna get 2 more copies.
Yeah, 2 more
The only
copies.
thing is, I blew that, your lot on there, so.
Yep.
We'll have to make sure that it agrees with that original.
So, you sit down at your typewriter, here's where you're sitting down at your typewriter, okay? The proposed name of the subdivision is Tyler's Subdivision.
No, first, I mean.
I like, McNeil. McNeil, I think it's better. Well, Target don't like that.
And we'll need a deed, we'll need your deed.
We haven't done the deed because we didn't know
Yes.
whether this was gonna be accepted or not.
So, yeah, this is what I'm telling you, we'll need to see your deed.
Okay.
We need a copy of the deed. A standard boundary survey of the parcel, giving the complete descriptive data by bearings and distances made and certified by a professional land surveyor. Now we got a problem.
Yeah. Of your
That
lot,
isn't what
your
this
lot,
is.
Of your lot.
Mine is. The one I actually added survey, the one I just brought up there has all the boundaries.
Okay.
Can I take it again? Yeah.
Then that's what we have.
That is a his copy of the total land.
Oh, that's fine.
Wait,
Right here, that's all. Is that all?
we wanna see the date,
Let's see, you want-
yeah, but the date is, oh yeah, the date is current, 2021. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
so this is what we want, yes.
That's fine.
Okay,
You can do
great.
that one and this one.
Take this back.
Okay.
Don't
Then we need both.
Don't confuse
Give me
it.
both.
Take it all.
Let me have both.
Okay. Okay,
I have multiple copies.
great.
You guys want this?
What is,
Keep it.
I don't really need this one, that's correct. That's why I was saying, hand drawn on here.
Hey,
Just give me, when you make your submission of your application, give us plain print.
so are these corners, is this corner to your lot, do you have a monument? And
That
a
is-
monument here?
That's a rock wall blocking off this whole field.
Do you have a monument here?
Yeah, there's,
You stake
I
that?
think he put a stake in there, yeah.
Okay,
You have stake
And
that?
if not, I'll
You
call
stake
me, come
that.
up and I'll blow a trail through the
just,
field.
there it is, that you need a monument.
This one looks fine.
Okay.
You want to submit this one, you just have to correct, show the lot correctly. Yep.
Okay.
We'll keep this one.
A copy of the most recently recorded deed of the parcel, a copy of all deed restrictions, easements, rights of way or other encumbrances currently affecting the property. Are you gonna have any deed restrictions? Are you gonna place any deed restrictions on Tyler? No. And,
Your chance.
yeah, now's your chance.
Christmas is coming up, I got you something pretty nice this year, so.
When I gave my son 10 acres to build a house on, Larry Ward advised me to give him 10 acres as far away from my house as possible.
Is that right?
He says, because otherwise what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your ex-daughter-in-law living next door and all of her asshole boyfriends coming by.
And I understand that.
God forbid it doesn't happen.
I get what you're saying, but she's, also on board, knows the deal, if anything did happen to us, the land's going here, in the family.
So you don't understand what's going on here from a selfish standpoint. From my standpoint is they're ready to put me in a home.
Yeah. No,
He's gonna say no, he's gonna be pulling me out while I try
I
to.
really understand.
Isn't this your mobile home right here for,
No.
an accessory dwelling unit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where he goes.
So we were talking about, your house. You do have to indicate your sewage. You do have to make a statement of what you're doing to get rid of, yeah, just have to make a statement. I don't see that you have to, when sewage disposal is to be accomplished by subsurface wastewater disposal, test pit analysis prepared by a licensed site evaluator, or certified soil scientist shall be provided. So you have to say that you can,
Yes.
You need a guy to
yeah,
certify.
yep. A map showing the location of all test pits dug on the site shall be submitted. Yep. Indication of the type of water supply system or systems to be used in the subdivision. When that water is to be supplied by private wells, evidence of adequate groundwater supply and quality shall be submitted by a well driller or a hydrogeologist familiar with the area. Yep. The date the plan is prepared, North Point and graphic map scale. So then there's number 9, names and addresses of record holder, record owner, applicant, and individual of the company who prepared the plan and adjoining property owners.
Are there any wetlands in the, open space?
Not where we're talking here, in the field, the plan down back where I had the wood cut off. That was sensitive, we had to do that before the rains came in, and because there's a brook that runs down through there or whatever, but that's way down in the woods, just, you know.
So, a high-intensity soil survey by certified soil scientist, wetland areas shall be identified on the survey regardless of size. Is this something that we could waive?
If we had a sidewalk on a clear, nice day without snow on the ground, we could, but
I mean, and I'm thinking the reasoning would be that there's so much area that's left in open space, and this is actually just for 3 acres that's going to get changed at all. And plus this other acreage up here, north of Hummingbird Lane. Yes, if we had a sidewalk,
yeah,
we
I think
could
if we
perhaps.
had a sidewalk, we could make it feel.
So in your submission, ask us to waive that requirement.
Yep.
The number of acres within the proposed subdivision, location of property lines, existing buildings, vegetated cover type, and other essential existing physical features. Location of all rivers, streams, and brooks within or adjacent to the proposed subdivision. If any portion of the proposed subdivision is located in the direct watershed of a great pond, the application shall indicate which great pond. Nope.
Nope. No
It
ponds
even
up
goes
there.
to the Saco?
No, not that close.
No, I mean,
There's Marston's Pond, that's the only pond that close, and that's not even,
You'd have to hitchhike to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's downhill from there.
so it's, I don't know what the difference between watershed and direct watershed is. But there seems to be a difference by the wording here.
yeah, there's no major
Where does
brooks
the
or
water
anything up
go
there.
from your land? If you pour out a pitcher of water on your front yard, does it go to Sebago or does it go to the Saco?
Depends which side you're on.
Well,
Or Sand Pond?
well, yeah, when they did all the road work, when Richie was alive or whatever, because they had problems down below, Gary Brown's house and that little swamp area, so Brown Road, I guess everything descends down from there and accumulates.
Ends up in the Saco?
Yeah, yeah.
Which makes it so you aren't in the watershed of a great pond.
No.
That's
That's
the answer to
good.
that question. And answer that when you're sitting at your typewriter, tell us that.
Yes, gotcha.
Contour lines at intervals specified by the board showing elevations in relation to the mean sea level. I would suspect the board would accept a statement of an identification on a map, not necessarily this one, but on a map, of some of the elevations that you can identify.
Okay.
Can't you get that from somewhere? Isn't there
Yeah,
somewhere?
you could get that, you could get, if you could give us like almost like a USGS map,
Yeah.
and just, we
Yep.
could use that to help us show the USGS map.
Yep. The zoning district in which the proposed subdivision is located, and location of any zoning boundaries affecting the subdivision. Pretty straightforward, it's all in the, is it above 700 feet, any of your land?
I would say,
Yeah, there you go.
Check on that, because that's 10-acre zoning.
Oh, no, then it's not.
No, you changed your mind pretty quickly.
No,
I don't think it is.
I asked the question originally back when we did that, I gave the land to the kids. I gave 10 acres just for them, little wiggle room, but actually, Saddleback was 10 acres minimum requirement, but ours is 2 acres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, tell us about it.
And when we see the USGS map, we'll know that, just confirm that it's nothing over.
Yeah. The location, names, and present widths of existing streets, highways, easements, building lines, parks, and other open spaces or on or adjacent to the subdivision. The width and, so you have to make you know, you have to do this stuff or make a statement of why you can't. You know, there are no parks adjacent to the subdivision, for instance. Tell us that.
Yeah, no.
Because somebody in 20 or 30 years, when there is a park, and they're sitting here
Yeah.
on the planning
Build
board,
that
they say,
on.
wait a minute, you guys, you know, so tell us for the sake of the future. The width and location of streets, public improvements, open space. And the comprehensive plan, wow, within the subdivision. Proposed lot lines and approximate dimension and lot areas. All parcels of land proposed to be dedicated to public use and conditions of such dedication. The location of any open space to be preserved and a description of proposed ownership, improvement, and management. Don't fall for that. Don't state that it's intended to be kept in open space, because I've also heard your grandfather say, yeah, he might change it.
Mhm.
So, this is a different use of the word open space, let's put it
Gotcha.
that way, okay? The area on each lot where existing forest cover will be permitted to be removed and converted to lawn, structures or other cover, and any proposed restrictions to be placed on clearing existing vegetation. Answer the question.
Land is cleared.
If any portion of the subdivision is in a flood prone area, I don't think so.
No.
Find out tomorrow.
Flood rate insurance map, yeah. Tonight, maybe even. A hydrological assessment prepared by a certified geologist or registered professional engineer experienced in hydrogeology when the subdivision is not served by public sewer, and any part of the subdivision is located over a sand and gravel aquifer, as shown on a map entitled Hydrological Data for Significant Sand and Gravel Aquifers. The subdivision has an average density of more than one dwelling unit per 100,000 square feet.
I don't see that one.
I have trouble asking somebody to spend that much money when,
I mean, I'm gonna find out when we drill a well.
yes.
I mean, you got a guy that's
And if
gonna
it has
go
to
up.
be treated with, you know, an RO system or whatever, then obviously I'm gonna be drinking it, I'm gonna be making sure it.
You got a guy doing the well, you got a guy doing the septic system.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just,
Yeah.
it can be waived,
I think the other thing was, they worry about is drainage, you know, if you have like a water body or a great lake below you,
Mhm.
you're gonna show us that there's nothing like that around here.
Yeah.
So whoever draws your septic plan, get a written report from them.
and your well driller.
And your well drill, get something written
Yeah.
for us.
Absolutely.
An estimate of amount and type of vehicular traffic to be generated on a daily basis and at peak hours. Trip generation rates used shall be taken from Trip Generation Manual 1991 edition published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers. If you can get a hold of that, it's very straightforward. It's like 3 trips a day, or
Yeah.
6 trips a day, you know, like husband and wife. That's
Yeah.
it. And
Three
so-
hours
from home.
and UPS coming and
Right.
Amazon deliveries, you know, and all that.
That's not required for a family subdivision.
Okay, okay. But that's an easy one, you have a
Yeah.
number of houses, how many trips you gotta get in the morning, how many trips in the afternoon. Yeah.
For subdivisions involving 40 or more parking spaces, we don't have to worry about that.
No.
Areas within or adjacent to the proposed subdivision which have been identified as high or moderate value wildlife habitat by Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife or within the comprehensive plan. So, call Maine Department of Fisheries and Wildlife. and ask them if you have a small whorled begonia.
Have a what?
The small whorled begonia,
Oh,
P,
oh,
not begonia, begonia,
Okay.
is the threatened or endangered, it is a threatened or endangered species here in Baldwin.
WHORLED.
Yes, whorled, a whirligig.
No, the only thing they came up with when I, had the land there, recertified, tree farm, is that there is a deer yard.
Oh, yeah, you got a deer yard?
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool. So tell us all this stuff, you know, write it down, and if you, anything in here, if it comes up negative for you, write it down, the answer is no, you know, that, no, we do not have a.
Yep.
And the last is, are you in the direct watershed of a great pond? And we talked about that.
So basically, the next step is just type out all this, give you
Yes,
guys.
Respond to each one.
it's a typing test.
I won't be doing it, I know.
But I guess my question is, some of the questions you have, going with the deed form, but, doesn't he have to have his well and his septic in and all of this stuff, so he can present the report to you that says, so we're basically going to do all of this stuff and have it in place, and we're gonna be at their mercy when you come back and say, will you accept it? And if they don't, you've developed an area that we can't do anything with, but that's just how it is.
So Gary,
Yes, sir.
you can have your septic system designed without putting it in. We
Other than
need to
just having
see,
a soil scientist come down and do the
and
test.
do a test pit.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
A successful test pit. We don't need test pits plural. If you have a successful one and, you know, and you're fairly confident that's not where you're gonna put your house, he doesn't need to put in a bunch of.
We're gonna know that the well can't be, you know, closer than 100 feet from the septic system.
Yeah, and then the well, yes, there's a gamble there, because his other choice,
I mean, with the water testing and all that, obviously I can do whatever I need to do to that well to make sure the water's safe, right?
yeah, but I mean, yes, but your other choice is to hire a hydrological engineer to do the surveying, then, you know, need to drill a well.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess, yeah, this is, I can't give you those answers until I get a green light from this. Okay, you're all set.
But they can't do that. That's what I'm telling you, that right now, whether we're sitting at home talking about it, or this, that, they need what they need. And we're gonna need to go and do some stuff in order to provide that to them. And ultimately, in the end, they can either say yes, or they can say no. So there's no guarantees, but here we are, where we are, and we're trying to make something work. It's not perfect, and it's not great, but it is what it is.
There's no way to be exempt from those, because, I mean, you're asking somebody to basically start or spend $20,000, $30,000, whatever it is, just for you guys to be like, no. And then I'm just SOL.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But as I said, you can get around that by hiring a hydrological engineer who's not gonna charge you the same amount as a well driller. But then, you know, you're gonna have to pay for the well to be drilled anyway. So that's your choice. I don't know what a hydrological engineer would charge.
It sounds expensive just saying it, Joe. It's just saying it.
Yeah.
I feel important saying it, Gary.
It's like, if I truly, I'm not trying to come off rude, but if I knew this was gonna be the story, I probably wouldn't have sold my house. I probably would have waited, or I might even exercise the idea of building in another town, neighboring town.
And that's.
That's realistic.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
not their
I
fault.
can't just
Part of
start
the-
writing checks and hopefully it's gonna go because we fall under a subdivision or we're adding one house.
And it's sad that we didn't know it before on Jen, like I said, the only thing is on Jen didn't step up to the plate to build on hers.
Yeah.
So we didn't know, oh no, that third one is gonna put you into where we are now.
Yeah.
And so all we're doing is you're going down the road and paving the way, is so that whether on Jen or whether Connor, when they
Yeah.
step up, he wouldn't have to do anything because it's now
Yeah.
set up. So that's where we are,
But
but
we've also never said no. I mean,
No,
like,
you don't hear us saying.
we've never said no to a permit. It's always figuring out how to do it.
I get that, no, absolutely, but I just think I mean, at least this part is just a little unrealistic, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bob?
Could we go over that again, that one that's causing the problem?
Sure.
Well, the septic, you don't have a problem with, right? I mean, the
You
septic.
really have to do a septic anyway, right?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about
The plan
that.
is cheap. That's,
Yeah.
the plan's not.
I mean, you can see you can drink bottled water,
Yeah.
and you get around it so well,
Yeah.
you know.
and obviously from a cleanliness standpoint, everybody knows that your septic tank is in one place and your well is in the other. You're not gonna, well on the high side and septic on the lower side.
So here's number 21, is a hydrological assessment prepared by a certified geologist or registered professional engineer experienced in hydrogeology when the subdivision is not served by public sewer and any part of the subdivision is located over sand and gravel aquifer, or...
Not in an aquifer,
Well, but somebody has to tell, I mean, who's gonna make that
I
determination?
think you could probably just look on that.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure they're on glacial tills there.
I mean, he might be charging $100, as you say, just.
I think if you look at a map, you're not on sand up there,
I think you get some.
but, you need someone to certify that, but I think a map was already identified those locations.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think it's gonna be.
obviously, I'm gonna go that route, I'm not gonna wait till I drill a well and then be, like I said, SOL, cause you're not drilling a well usually until you're rolling.
And-
There's data out there, and there's hydrogeologists, they know the area already.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a few $100, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I will do my homework.
Yeah, I think what we were thinking is you gotta drill the well anyway, so that would tell you the same
Yeah.
thing, but you're right, it's money spent, and
It says, number 7 says, an indication of the type of water supply system to be used in the subdivision. When water supply is to be provided by private wells, evidence of adequate groundwater supply and quality shall be submitted by a well driller or a hydrogeologist familiar with the area.
That's
I'm
okay.
familiar with the area.
Yeah.
Just people.
So that way, even if I
The
do
other
that, I don't have
well,
to submit the
I was
testing
gonna
of the
say,
well
how
being
about the-
drilled
how about-
after,
how about
cause I already got that squared.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How about your aunt's house, which already has a well, that's right in that neighborhood?
Right.
Yeah, could we do that?
I mean, just roll that up.
Yeah.
You can get from the state.
Norm Lake is an excellent dowser.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know if that qualifies him as a hydrogeologist, though.
Well, but I think the adequate water supply, if the two other houses have an adequate water supply, I mean, I think that would be sufficient.
Okay.
But I still think you have to determine whether or not it's, what would you say, on sand? A sand, somebody has to tell us who's legit. Cause I can see Gary signing the document. Somebody legit saying it's not on a sand and gravel aquifer or whatever it was.
There are soil surveys.
Soil maps.
Maps of Cumberland County available at, NRCS, the NRCS building down on Route 1, in Scarborough. Maybe it's not them, maybe it's the, FHA that shares the building with them, has those maps. We'll help you all we can. Yeah, what we're covering ourselves, because the next person in, you know, might.
I'm gonna tell them, don't even bother.
Oh,
Yeah.
Patience.
Patience. Get out of here.
This is not the worst thing you will go through in your life.
Oh, I'm well aware. I think we're good then, right? I mean.
So we need it all
that
typed
out.
up.
Yep. And so with the soil test, obviously, you said I can just go to that building, they should have something pulled up already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, need somebody to help you interpret the map, but
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe the person in the office there,
take the phone,
Yeah.
can help you.
Yep. And then,
But you would
I mean, obviously you guys are closed tomorrow, but next week or something, I can drop off a copy of the maps.
And the
Unless you
DD,
guys wanna wait for that until I have everything typed up and do it all at once.
do it all at once.
I do it all at once, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do piecemeal.
We'll lose something if you give it to us one at a time.
Please don't.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta get the application first filled
Yep.
out, and then everything comes.
Cool. Well, thank you again.
Sorry to torture you.
We'll be back.
I think you like it a little bit, I don't know.
It's so much fun on this side.
I have one like that, that's yours.
When you're not in the highway, there's something like that. I've got some back.
We're up
Okay.
there, mine is green,
Perfect,
that's
so
it.
that's good. Yeah.
No, I have more than, I don't think, I work for an oil company. for 22
That
years.
copy gonna be all
The
they need.
original was,
This
a
one.
lot of things Dodge oil on.
There you go. Is this all you need, or would you like his also?
Alan Baldwin.
This
Wow.
feels real, that's not real.
There's a guy in Cedar Falls, I did a, St. Jude's biker.
David wants it.
Donnie Frost,
Okay.
who moved the door.
This is
The original one.
Well, Don said to have it put it on.
Go ahead and keep it, that's okay.
Accurate.
But this is the one we want.
Grandpa
We don't want
sketched
that
it.
one.
Okay.
I would like that one too, it's correct pictures.
Okay, whatever Don wants, right?
Yeah, okay. You want it? You
I
got
would
it.
like this one, and I would like that one, with that one shown correctly.
Is that the one that I wrote in?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
I mean,
send it back until you can give us everything.
give it to
else.
me one shot, and we're done.
And you're gonna call.
Yes,
And
Ben, thank you for reminding me.
Great clarification on how.
I don't care.
Another lot, another subdivision, they're using for sale, space taxes and something like that.
thank you for your time.
Merry Christmas.
You as well.
Let me get all of it.
Entire lot.
Thanks, Don.
Some of that we can probably copy what's in the church.
Yeah, I'll start going on my end, and if something pops up or I have a question, I'll get all of you.
Anytime you go.
Awesome, appreciate it. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So Jeff and Tammy Doyle didn't show up.
No, we do have their application here if you wanna look at it.
Okay.
We don't have the check for it yet, she left that off, I think.
Didn't have the check, I don't want it.
Yeah, all right.
And we should have enough copies for everybody on the board, too.
All right.
You know, I think everybody should have a copy.
How many copies would you like?
So that's 7 copies, isn't it?
All right.
Does the board want a copy?
Yes, I want one.
Yeah, so, I mean,
But we need one when we're gonna review it.
yeah, when we review it, we need it.
Is that for the Kendall?
So we've gotten into trouble before with taking applications before they paid, and then we're about to approve it and like, oh, they didn't pay. And, you know, rather than sit here and do that, you want us to consider it,
Give us everything.
show me the money.
Excuse me, Joe, can I ask one, you and I had talked about, Ben, we talked about my land there, you said you'd have a conversation with him in terms of that 66 acres,
Yep,
you know, which is right now an open space.
yep.
That all has to be part of subdivision. Is it reclassified? Is it, at that point, is it access land? I mean, I just need to know, we just wanted to try and get that 3.5 or whatever out for him. And if you're saying the whole rest of the mother lot has to be, at that point, all goes into subdivision too.
So as a matter of fact, Matt reminded me after you left.
Okay, good.
To tell me, to make that phone call.
Good.
He just will take anything he can to try to, you know, beat me up, and anything.
Oh, I like the guy, cause he keeps saying, no, this is a family subdivision, it doesn't apply to it.
He's just going for the
Thank you, Matt.
popularity award. All his integrity is gone, Gary. It's just gone.
All right, see you guys.
I wanted to, give you a tip for, how to, deal better with the, public.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So also the B and B. You said somebody might have come in for B and B.
She was supposed to bring in the application and the fee. I was supposed to have it on my desk a couple of days before the meeting, and I haven't got it.
Okay,
So that's where we are.
okay,
And she was going to come in, on this application we already have and bring the check. But for whatever reason, she's not here, maybe because of the storm or something came up, I don't know.
oh my God, it's gonna rain sometime in the next month or two.
It probably will, it might even snow.
Okay, so that's not there. So we called off the site visit for tomorrow. And I have emailed with the lawyer, Greg Vaughn, and I have emailed with, Pat Keach, who is one of the neighbors. And you've had communication with anybody?
With Charles Stebbins and the others, so they're all aware of it. And they're planning to come.
We have to put in a new ad.
That's what I asked, Joe.
Well, the problem is that the shopping guy takes a vacation once a year, and right now it's when?
That's where it is. I thought they were gonna put in an alternate snow date or
I
something.
didn't do it.
Oh, it didn't go in that way, okay.
We had talked about it.
And we can't put it on the town website because Robin is the only one who can do that,
Well,
and she's gone.
Are they gonna publish on the, they're not publishing a guide on the 28th, right?
They're not publishing next week.
Okay, so as soon as we could get one in is the 4th.
I don't know if they're publishing that week or not.
I think the next one is the middle of January.
I think they take a little while.
2 weeks off.
You know, when you get a drunk on, you really go for it. And, you know, 1 week just doesn't do it.
Well,
I think the 11th is the next time they publish. Because we looked
did
at
we
that.
send letters out to the
Yes,
abutters?
we did. And letters went out when I put the advertisement.
We have gotten in touch with, abutters.
Yeah, all the letter, you know, 500 feet of the property went out.
So, yeah, we
We could
have.
do that again, we could send another letter out.
Yeah, I think if you do that, you know, you'll be okay.
Okay, good. As long as you're happy, Matt, we're all happy.
The public hearing is also going to change the date? No.
The public hearing will still be on the 12th.
Yeah, so we haven't delayed them at all. It probably won't be all snow, it'll probably be pouring rain, but we don't wanna be out there in the pouring rain either, especially
Well,
if it's on top of.
it's the high wind,
Yeah.
you know, 60, 70 miles an hour and that's gust, so.
Yep,
You don't wanna be amongst any trees when that's going on.
anything else?
Do you have the application from them to be sure that they paid their fee? I'm pretty sure
Who,
they said they did.
Oh, Jermaine?
Right.
Jermaine?
He paid,
Application.
he paid, $150 back in February.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that.
I put that in the notes too, that, yeah, we have that, so.
This has been in front of us for a long time, since February, and it has not been us delaying him, it's been them.
Right. But does that say that the fee has been paid? Because I looked it up in the book I have and I can't find a record of a fee.
It says fee paid,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm paid somewhere.
yeah,
Okay, just
Back in
wanted to-
February, yeah, so,
yeah, but that was, yeah. Is there anything else to come before us?
Did you find those, subdivision permits, the ones that?
Did you have the list of?
Yeah,
I couldn't find them, I tried.
okay. What's up?
That's sort of unfortunate where it's, some things are one place, some are another. And
Yeah, those are the ones that came back in, and Robin gave them the west. Robin distinctly remembers giving them the west.
She doesn't distinctly remember giving them to me.
No, I'm not saying you're at fault, I'm just,
Is there anybody who could ask Wes for them? Does anybody feel they have a relationship with Wes? Bob, do you?
Well, we kind of overlooked it.
yeah, I'll send him an email, I don't have a problem with that. I'll CC you, so you see it.
Great.
Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.